Hi, welcome to Melanin Manga. I am Sheena Shidaki, and this is my mid-year book freakout tag. How has the year been treating you guys so far? I hope it's been great to you. My year has been going by pretty good. It's been way better than these last 2 fucking years that life dealt me. That's for fucking sure. That is for sure. So, and I really haven't been doing anything. I feel like it's like $500 just to go outside. So I've just been staying inside, but that gives me a chance to read all these books that I keep buying and feel like I need. So yeah, and then when the mid-year freak book tag came up, I was like, hell yeah, I like doing this tag. Even though I'm hella late, I actually recorded it, and then it got deleted somehow, and it was just a whole mess. And I was like, well, fuck it, I won't do it this year. But I was like, yeah, why not? Because there's so many good things that I've read so far this year. So far, I think between my Kindle, my audiobooks, graphic novels, in every sort of way. I think when the mid-year came up, I was sitting at 123. So yeah, I just been joining like a lot of challenges. That's really been helping getting my TBR down. Just buddy reading with some people, doing book clubs. So yeah, that's really helped me like just stay focused on just reading. So yeah, let's just get into it. When I was making this, I was like, Sheena, Berserk, like I kept bringing up Berserk, so I'm gonna try to not make this all about Berserk, but we'll see what I came up with. So let's get started. All right, question number one. What are some of your best reads so far this year? And I think I narrowed it down to like 6, okay? So bear with me. And I know I said I'm not going to make it all about Berserk, but I'm definitely going to start with Berserk because, baby, the way this fucking series has me in a fucking chokehold, okay? It has ruined me, okay? I will talk about it with anybody that'll listen, okay? My poor best friend at work, I go in and I'll be telling her about it and she'll just be like, what? Oh, okay. Okay, I'd be like, best friend, God said this, and Casa said that, and Griffith did this in no fucking way. Oh my God. Like, Nosferatu's odd, best friend. And she's like, oh. But yeah, like, oh, it's just taking over my heart. I absolutely love it. This is a series that I know is going to break my heart, and it is so worth it, just like Saga. So, what can you say about Berserk? And I know I'm late. I get it. And even if you don't know about Berserk, what you do here is about like the blood and the guts and the crazy ass fucking fight scenes and the wild shit that goes on because Lord, just the first couple of panels alone, you kind of get a taste of what the hell you're gonna get into, and you're like, what the fuck? But underneath all that, bullshit, there's this beautiful story, and the way that it's laid out is like sheer fucking perfection. Like when you first come in, you were just like throwing in, okay? Like you meet this guy, this mysterious guy, you're following him. Come to find out, you find out his name is Guts, and he is a mercenary, but he's on fucking mission, okay, to find the people. Well, I guess you could say the beings that wronged him, and it is just a fucking incredible ride. Incredible characters, whether they're good, whether they're bad, like, man, just the side characters, they all just come together to make this great story. The arcs in here, some of the best fucking arcs that I've ever seen. The panel layout, some of the best fucking panels I've ever seen. The art it just pulls you in, and the story will fucking grip you, okay? It'll break your heart. It'll make you fall in love. It'll have you like kind of giggling out loud, like the dynamics between all the characters, and it's kind of fucking gay. It's a little gay, okay? And I love that they sprinkle a little gay in there, I'm hooked, okay? I love it. But yeah, it is definitely worth the ride, I feel like, and I can't wait to be done and caught up because I'm only halfway into it. But what I have read and experienced, I'm in it. I get it. I love it. It is definitely worth the hype. Okay, so if you read it, bug me about it, please. Like I said, I know I'm late to the party. Okay, I get it. If you don't want to talk to me about it, I get it. Okay, so but don't come for me. But yeah, I feel like Berserk is definitely something that you you're gonna like find on your own, and you really need to be open to what Berserk is putting down, you know, because it is intense. It is a lot at times, but you know, I feel like it's worth it. It's worth trying to understand what the hell it's putting down. So yeah, Berserk #1, you have my heart. I love you. Yep. Another dark fantasy series that has me in a chokehold is Claymore. Man, Claymore is so underrated. It is so fucking slept on. Okay, and when people, like even people that have been in the manga game for a long time, they never bring up Claymore, and it's a shame. And when they do bring up Claymore, they always going to say, oh, it's like the female version of Berserk. And I'm like, ew. Because it's so much more than that. It is so much fucking more than that. And when I did get Claymore, the box set, I didn't know a whole bunch about it. I just saw it and just thought it was beautiful and had badass babes in there fighting monsters. And I took the chance, and I'm glad that I did, because I absolutely love it. Okay, so in this world, it's like the medieval times, it almost looks like. And within this world, there's these horrible creatures called the Yoma, okay? And the Yoma are able to look like regular humans. As they're feeding on humans, they're able to, you know, adapt and, you know, live amongst them and shit like that as they are fucking killing them off, you know? And there's a secret organization that actually takes young girls and comes up with the idea to infuse the Yomas, like their blood and their flesh, with these young women. And if they survive the transformation, they become what is known as like, they, you know, people have called them Claymore, you know, or the Silvered Eye Witches too. And these women are able to take on, you know, Yoma's powers and strengths and all their abilities, but keep, you know, their humanity, but at a big ass cost. Okay, so we are following a girl named Claire, and she's like a low ranking Claymore, but she is on a fucking path for revenge against one of the biggest Yomas. So it is an amazing story, fucking amazing, right? Like, there's so much heart in it. There's so much like great action scenes, okay? And it's a shame that it doesn't get the respect that it deserves, you know? Even the anime never finished, you know, they have all the material there and they never do anything with it. So I need justice for this book. I need more people talking and, you know, talking about this book, bugging me about this book, okay? I know me and my little book club is breaking this down, so definitely, if you don't watch the book club, if you hear this, please pick up Claymore. It is so fucking worth your time. Another series that has blew my fucking mind, and that is Dungeon Crawler Carl, okay? I get it. Get the fucking hype. I am, you know, part of the Princess Posse. I am a donut hole. All right, I will follow them to the ends of the earth. Okay, so for as long, you know, as much as I can go with my fucking my lame ass. So, yeah, I got into the series because of my girl Kelly. She absolutely loves it. This isn't the first lit RPG series that I've read before, but it's definitely like top tier. So, it's kind of hard to fucking describe Dungeon Crawler Carl. So, to sum it up, basically, this alien corporation comes and takes over Earth, okay, for stupid ass reasons, and they demolish everything, okay, all the buildings, everything, cars, buildings, everything. So if you're left alive, you're given the chance to enter the dungeon, and there's like, I think like 18 levels or something like that, and you're able to go into the dungeon and survive and level up and all this shit, and all of it's televised. All it's televised. It's like a fucking game show. It's just fucking entertainment for them while people are really trying to survive. So you meet Carl, and you meet his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, and they go into the dungeon and you follow them, and it is such a fucking wild ass ride. And you don't really need to know anything about like gaming and everything like that, you know. Like, it does a really good job at keeping you entertained even if you don't like, the gaming part of it. So it has so much heart. At first I was like, I don't know if this is for me, but once you understand what Matt Denneman's putting down and understand that it's just more than just like bros and going around and killing shit and things like that, you'll realize that it's a lot deeper than that. So much heart. It's so funny at times, so funny. I literally will be laughing out loud listening to this book. So, and definitely one of the best fucking audiobooks I've ever listened to. And I'm an audiobook fucking freak, and I've listened to some wonderful ones, but this one is very top tier. So I get it, I see it, I love it, I can't wait for more. I'm on the 7th book, so yeah, like I feel like it's just gonna just ruin my heart. Just ruin my heart. I love it. Who would I be if I did not have BL on the top of my list? Okay, so I actually have 2. I narrowed it down to 2. Okay, so the first one, and it's crazy because they're like totally opposite of each other, okay, day and night. So the one that has me fucking giggling, kicking my feet, like smiling, blushing, all that, just fucking perfection. This is one of the best BLs I've ever read in my life, and that is Our Sunny Days. Oh my god, the fucking cutest. The way I am in love with them. I want 1,000 fucking volumes of them, okay? I want to watch them grow old. I want their kid to grow up. I want to see their kids. Like, I want to know everything, okay? Their hardships, their fucking beautiful days, their marriage. I want to see all of it, okay? I am obsessed with these 2. So let me tell you what it's about, okay? So you meet this dude, and he was in the military. He actually did, time in the Korean military, and then he was actually here in the States. So he was with this girl, and they were with each other for a little while, and they end up breaking up. And like a year later, she comes over, and it was like, she finds him again, and she's like, hey, hi, how are you? Here's your kid, and I gotta go. So she basically leaves him to be a single father, and he's trying to just figure it all out. This was dumped on him, and he's just like, okay. So he takes on the responsibility and comes back to Korea, and he actually buys a house like out in the country and into this little town, so he goes into town, and he actually runs into one of the people that live in the town too, and it's kind of like a bumpy, meeting of each other, and they kind of get off on the wrong foot, but the way that they end up like making up for it, just perfection, fucking perfection. The dude that he ends up, being around, he looks like, he acts kind of like a himbo, but like he's really not. He's like way deeper than that, and it's just so much fun just watching these 2. Like, it is definitely a slow burn. There is nothing there, even though it was wrapped in plastic when I got it. Like, there's none of that yet. It's just so fucking cute, and the way that they look at each other, the way that they're nervous around each other, the way that just their whole interaction is just so fucking adorable. It's like found family type shit. Like, I feel like there's a bunch of other things that happen, but yes, like, I just eat this shit up. It is just fucking perfection. I cannot wait. And it's always a good one that take fucking forever to come out, okay? Like, I think the first one came out in like March or something, and then we had to wait all the way to fucking August to get another one, and then the next one doesn't come out the next fucking year. Like, I want to fucking walk into traffic waiting on the shit. So, then, like I said, the other BL, total opposite. I am in love with Lost in the Cloud. Now, I feel like a lot of people do not talk about this one. Feel like this is such a sleeper hit, okay? Very fucking messy, but done in such a good ass way, okay? So you meet this dude, and I believe his name is Cyrus. No, I lied. His name, I'll put it up here, okay? So he is in the photography class, and he is very to himself. He doesn't have a bunch of friends, just crazy shit has happened to him. Well, he does like to take pictures and stuff, and then he ends up liking this dude, having a crush on this guy that's in his photography class, and he ends up helping him out. The more he's around him, the more that, he just becomes so infatuated with him, right? So basically his crush becomes his muse, and he's taking pictures of him without him knowing, and he's not doing anything crazy with them, and it's never like in a like compromising fucking position or anything like that. It's like basically like him playing soccer, or like him fucking smelling flowers, or him eating a sandwich. It's just all innocent, but he has like thousands of pictures of him. So, that just looks a little, a little sus. So, but his crush's best friend, I believe his name is Cyrus. Cyrus finds out about these pictures, and he ends up blackmailing him. And it's basically like, oh, well, you do what I want you to do, and I won't tell my homeboy about these pictures, and the copies that I have, I'll get rid of them, So basically, he just ends up becoming, fucking involved with this dude. I love it. And like the last book that we just read, we really get to see like the background of both of these boys and why they are the way that they are. And I'm just like, ugh, I want more so bad. So yeah, definitely damn near. Our Sunny Day is 5 out of 5, like fucking perfection. And I would say, Lost in the Clouds right up there too, 4.5 out of 5. Like, ugh, love them. Dark Horse put out this 3-book miniseries. It is fucking fire, and it's called Adapana. Like, for it to be so short, it did an amazing job. Okay, so you meet this girl, and she walks into a police station, and she has a bloody knife, and she confesses that she killed her best friend. And they think it's like an open shut case. Oh my God, how can this girl do this? All over the news, everything, But the more that the detectives start looking into it, the more it's, there's more to the story, and it's a lot more twisted and dark than it really is, and it's just so fucking good. It is very graphic. Like, if you like things like psychological thrillers and shit like that, basically like SVU type shit, then you'll definitely love this. The art, beautiful. I love that the way that you definitely could pick up all 3 and just read all 3 easily. Fucking easily. It's so good. I highly recommend it. I don't see a whole bunch of people talking about this, but it really needs to be talked about. So yeah, pick it up. Anabana. Read it. Bug me about it. Last but definitely not least is Absolute Wonder Woman. Absolute Wonder Woman is absolutely fucking amazing, and everybody should read it, okay? I think it's one of the top ones out of Absolute, even though I haven't read a lot of the other ones. I feel like I could safely say that it is one of the best out of the fucking Absolute universe. Oh my God. I'm not the biggest Wonder Woman fan, but I fucks with this one, okay? So, and it's like a retelling of her story. Princess Diana didn't grow up in the Themyscira. Zeus is kind of like on some fuck shit, and she banishes her and Cersei into hell, and that's where she grows up. And even though she grows up using like dark magic and learning like how to survive in hell, she still is Diana to the core. She is still Wonder Woman to the core, and she still has all those principles where she wants to be a good person and bring out the truth and sacrifice herself for others. And as she makes her way out of hell, she looks totally different, badass. She's like hella fucking big, like muscle mommy. She got this big ass sword. She's got this fucking Pegasus. I love her Pegasus, but even though she's still got like all these, she looks fucking insane, but she is so gentle. She is just still Diana. She's still just the badass that she is, and I just love it. Like, the art is amazing, the storyline is amazing, and like you don't have to know a lot about Wonder Woman, I promise you, to understand that, because I don't really know anything, and I'm having an amazing time. So yeah, definitely, if you're gonna read anything out of the Absolute, definitely get into Absolute Wonder Woman, because man, it is such a fucking great ride. And you know what, I absolutely loved it too, that she kind of has stuff in common with Guts, and I don't know if that was intentional, but she's got the big ass sword like him. She has something else that they have in common, and I'm just like, hell yeah. So definitely had to make the top fucking list. Number 2, what are the best sequels you read so far in 2026? Right, so I narrowed it down to 3, okay? So the first one is Roses and Champagne. I've read all 3 of them in June for Pride Month, and absolutely loved them. The second one was really good. So there's this lawyer, and he does like pro bono work, and then but he ends up getting, one of his clients ends up like mixed in with the mafia, like the mafia and like sneaky, fucked up politics won this property and his warehouse and everything. So he does pro bono work, and then he ends up meeting the head of the mafia, and he ends up getting mixed up with him. And it's just like there is an attraction, there is this push and pull between them, but he's just like, is he just using me, for like what I can do for him, or is the shit real? And then, the second one, they kind of like had to spend time with each other. Like the mafia dude, he is like in love with this. He is just enamored with this man. He cannot get enough of him. So they end up going and having to look into this person that they're looking for and to testify and like all the shit that they get into. So yeah, that was a good read. So absolutely loved it. Then I went with Dragonhead, the second omnibus for that one. It was really good. It is a horror one, dystopian type thing. So these kids, basically Japan went to shit. Big ass explosion, have no idea what happened. Everything's in ruins, everything that happens in an apocalypse, People go fucking crazy, people are dying, everybody doesn't know what the hell's going on. And these 15 and 16-year-olds, so it's like a boy and a girl, and they're just trying to survive. And they end up out of one situation and end up into another one. So they get word that there's a part of Japan that may not be so fucked up, so they travel to get there, and the things that they go through on their way there is horrific. And I remember when I got it, it's a pretty thick boy, so but when I got it, I was like, no, I'm finishing this today because I have to know. Like, each panel is crazy, just crazy. The art in it is amazing. The story is just fast paced. You get to see why it's called, not really get to see, but you get like a peek of why it's called Dragonhead. So it's just like, oh, I need more. It's so good. Then I went with Hunt the Villain by Rena Ken. This was one of the books that I was anticipating the most this year, and it did not disappoint. It was like mafia, enemies to lovers type shit. I'm just in love. I ended up listening to the audiobook, and the only thing that did not make it perfection is that there is a narrator that is very popular. His name is Teddy Hamilton, and Teddy Hamilton already does a character in this series of Rena Kent, okay? So when I hear Teddy Hamilton, I think of that character, where she fucking recycled him and made him do one of these characters. And this character actually interacts with the other characters that she played. So if she had gotten somebody else to play that part, which there's tons of other people that have great voices and, that are great narrators to play, instead of doing that shit, then, because like, girl, your books are gonna sell, like, come on now, like, but you could have found somebody else. But other than that, I absolutely loved it. I love those babies so much, and I couldn't help but to like just fall in love with them and just be so it's just so good. So yeah, worth the wait. All right, my favorite number 3, new releases you haven't read yet but want to. Oh man, so many. So, but I just narrowed it down to 3. So, Dearly Departed. This is a like sci-fi, like spooky, shadow daddy romance that came out. I just saw the title. I mean, the picture, the cover of the book. So that's all I got out of it. But yeah, that seems right up my alley. Then Harvest Season. That is part of the Brianne Weaver's series, the second one. And then we have The Secret World of Briar Rose. That is by our girl Cindy, the YouTuber Cindy. She put out this book, and I think it's the queer retelling of Sleeping Beauty. So yeah, definitely going to make time for that. And look how beautiful this cover is. And look how beautiful this book is. Like, to own that is gorgeous. But yeah, those are the 3 off the top of my head, and I'm pretty sure that there's tons more. But yeah, those are the ones that I came up with. Number 4. Most anticipated reads for the second half of the year. I got a couple that I could think of at the top of my head. So we are getting another book from the Given series, and it's called Given 10. So it's basically 10 years in the future, and we get to catch up what our boys have been doing. I can't wait. Given is like one of my favorite BLs of all time, so it's going to be so much fun to see those babies again. And I also went with The Last King of the Fairies. That is part of the Shadowhunter series. We're getting like 3 new books. We're getting 3 final books from what I understand. And then this is the first one of them. So I love all the covers. So there's going to be art in different books from different vendors. So like, you know, you get the Walmart exclusive, you get the Target exclusive, you get the Barnes and Noble exclusive, and you know, you get different art. And I'm not too sure which one I'm gonna go with. I really want all the art, but I'm not gonna buy multiple books like an idiot again. So yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that story. Then the second book to Kimberly Lamb's fucking alien romance, you know, and it is called I Punched an Alien and Now We're in Couples Therapy. I absolutely love the titles of her books because they remind me of manga. And basically this girl, just like Ice Planet Barbarians, gets taken from Earth, put onto this basically like a habitat, and like these aliens are watching them like we would watch animals, and like, you know, do research and shit on them. So she's basically paired up with this fucking overlord alien, and that's her mate, and she's like, man, fuck this, I'm not gonna get involved with them. So it's basically like enemies to lovers. We got to meet them in the first book a little bit, and I was just like so tickled by them. So I cannot wait to read the second one. So yeah, those are my picks for that one. Number 5, biggest disappointments. Ugh, I got a couple. Okay, I'm trying not to go on a rant, but yes. So I have 3. All right, the first one is Dear Door. Fucking hated that book. Hated it. It was so disappointing. So all over the place. I thought I was going to have a great time. Monster boyfriend. No, it's very gapey. It's very all over the place. Like, the story didn't flow. I don't know if it was just a translation thing, or, you know, I've read things that come from webtoons and they're like, oh, you know, you should read it. No, I don't think so, because I just don't I don't like the way that the story was laid out. So I guess he's a cop, and he is on this investigation. These people come up dead in a crazy ass way, and it's like demonic stuff, and the demon needs to come from hell, and the door are people. Like, the door, you know, they use people to come into our world, you know, and the way that he does it is in a very fucking salty, you know, very aggressive way, and I was not feeling it. I do not like it. The only time that I liked it was towards the end of the story, and even then that was fucking brutal. So I was just like, yeah, this one is not for me. And I'm glad that I only bought book 1, because I'd have been pissed if I had both books on, you know, multiple books on my shelf. So yeah, definitely got rid of that one. Then I got Boss Bitch Baby, number 2. I had number 1. Number 1 was kind of and I was thinking, oh, okay, you know, like, just give it another chance, okay? So the second one I read, and it didn't get any better. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like any of it. I didn't like, oh no, okay, so 7 Seas, is it? They fucked up with the translation. The translation was horrible. They even had a couple of typos and stuff, and gave like some spoilers on the back of the second book. So there was that. But yeah, I didn't care for it. This dude is supposed to inherit, you know, the whole CEO thing. And then, you know, you have the person that really needs money. And he's like, okay, well, basically, like, you sleep with me for a year, and then at the end of that year, I'll give you money, because like his family's like ashamed of him for sleeping with men. So he's like, he still wants to, you know, get laid and shit, but, you know, he wants the company too. So he tells him, look, you have to live in my condo, you can't fucking leave, you know, and I could do, you know, what I want to you whenever I want to you, and you'll get paid. I'll pay off all your debt, and I'll give you money to start a new life after the year. And I didn't see anywhere in the contract where he could be fucking abusive to him, and like the dude was kind of like into it, and I don't know, it was just poorly executed. I couldn't stand him. The art is cute, but other than that, the story was like mid. It was like blah. Then the last one, Scattering His Virgin Bloom. What in the fuck was that? And I'm so mad because I bought all 3 books instead of just reading the first one. This is another Omega verse. This is prime example of fucking Omega trash. Okay, so you meet this dude, and he is a Omega. And I'm not too sure how he was passing off as an Alpha because he is every bit the Omega, right? So he works at this coffee shop, and this Alpha male comes in all the time, you know, and he's like totally infatuated with him. Well, he ends up going into Heat, and then the Alpha can't stand him. He cannot stand him because the dude is like so immature. You find out why he's so immature. Like, he's just disgusted by him, you know. So, but he ends up helping him through his heat, and then he ends up like being around him. Now, this other person comes into the picture, and the way that the author decided to go in this route, I'm just like, yuck, fucking yuck. So I'm gonna spoil the shit out of this book, okay? So he was kicked out of his home when he was very young, like 7 years old or something crazy, because he went into Heat, and instead of his parents protecting him and keeping him away, keeping others away from him, the brother ended up attacking him, going for him, and they blamed him. They blamed the Omega, even though it's something that they can't control, right? So they kicked him out. So that's why he's so immature, because he's like been on his own, been having to raise himself, doesn't really know shit, Why did the brother come back talking about we have unfinished business? Say, what? What the fuck? And he's like, oh, you're my Omega, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fucking you, right? And then there's the other part where the Omega that he actually likes, like, he wanted to, be intimate with him, and he's like, he was like, oh, I'm the type of person that seduces their brother. And, I'm like, okay, my fucking dick just went soft, because what, why would you say that? Why, that is nothing, ew, just ew, that whole fucking first volume, just ew. So that is not for me. The brothers, okay, we can see the stepbrothers, but I mean, the real brothers, you wanting your brother, you couldn't find a whole nother Omega, and then you using that to like bait this fucking person into sleep with you. That is just a bad call on the author. So yeah, I will not be entertaining any more of that bullshit. So yeah. Blech. Number 6, biggest surprise. So I got a couple of books that had me like, huh, okay, all right, I'm feeling this. So the first one I found, so I followed this girl on Instagram, and she was talking about like the craziest books or like the weirdest books that she's listened to so far this year. And then one had caught my attention, and that was Big Swiss. Okay, so this is like kind of in my element and not in my element. And this book was like about nothing and everything at all. Like the writing was really good, and it was like so intriguing at times. And then at the end I was like, what the fuck did I just listen to? So you meet this woman, and she is like fresh out of a relationship. She moves to a smaller town, and she ends up landing a gig with this therapist, okay? And this therapist needs her to be basically like a stenographer and type out all his transcripts from like all his therapy sessions. And he's a therapist for like, couples, or like basically like a sex therapist too. So he needs her to record all of these onto paper, right? So she sits in and she listens in. People don't know that she's listening in on these conversations. They know that they're being recorded, but they don't know that somebody actually else listens to these. So, and there's people that live in this town, this small ass town that she landed in, and she gets to hear like all these intimate things about these people. And it's funny because like she'll run into them in town. She may not know them by like their names or anything, or seen them before, but when she hears their voice, she's like, oh shit, that's blah blah blah, or shit, that's blah blah blah. Now there's this other girl, there's this one main character that she ends up calling Big Swiss, that she gets so fucking infatuated with this woman, and she can't get enough. She wants to hear all of her sessions and everything. And then she ends up running into her during town, and it just goes from there. And it is a wow. So yeah, I was very surprised by it. So then I have a couple of comics, mangas that I was really surprised by. So there's this one series called Omega Megara. I think that's how you say it. Man, I was blown the fuck away. Like, I'm not a big Omega fan. Like, it could be very, very fucking assaulty at times, and it's just poorly written, you know. But this one read like a fucking soap opera, and I am hooked. Oh my god, I love that series. So, you meet this family, and then within this family, they fucking crazy. So you meet the Omega, and the Omega has a problem, and his problem is that he's barren, like, and that's what they call the Megaras. Like, it's bad enough that you're an Omega and you barely have any rights and all this shit, but to be barren and not do the simple thing that they felt like you were created for is even worse, right? So he's trying to get back in good graces with his family, and especially his alpha, and become the first wife again, because his alpha has multiple wives, quote unquote, regardless of their gender, they're still called wives, right? So he wants to be the first wife again, the favorite. So the head alpha of the family, which is the grandfather, and he's a piece of shit, and he finds out that he has an illegitimate kid, and he believes that it's an alpha. So he tells the Omega, he's like, hey, do me the solid, go find my son and then raise him as your son. So it's like a win-win situation for us. So I don't look bad, you know, and shame the family. You can have a son, you know, nobody has to know. So he's so fucking desperate that he goes and finds this kid. Well, little do they know that this kid is an Omega, but he's been passing off as a beta or an alpha and stuff. And he's like, fuck, this is never going to work. They're not going to want another Omega. He goes, but we can work with this. So he basically tells the kid, hey, look, you know, let's pull this off. Pretend that you're an alpha. Take over the fucking family. I can get back in good with my man, and we'll have it all. And just the shit that they do to make this stuff happen, it is so messy. Like I said, it reads like a soap opera. It is so good. I can't wait. I stopped at number 3, so that will definitely be a series that I continue on with. Then another one that I was surprised by was I Love Amy. This is such a sleeper hit. I don't hear nobody talking about I Love Amy. Okay, so and like just looking at the books, you think it's gonna be like, oh, cutesy. When you read the back of the book, it's like, oh, you know, like she finds this guy and, you know, she falls in love, and then he may like this other girl, so, you know, she tries to befriend this other girl. No, it's way deeper than that. So you meet this girl named BB, and BB she is unhinged. There's something wrong with this girl, okay? She ain't right? So she ends up falling for this guy named Peter, because Peter ends up doing something for her, just, you know, not because like he likes her or anything, but it's because Peter's a good guy, right? So she done fallen in love with him, got out their whole fucking life together and everything, right? So she's determined to be Peter's girl, right? So one day she's going to go talk to Peter and confess and try to make, you know, get the ball rolling between them two. And she sees Peter talking to this girl, and the girl's name is Amy. Now, Amy's the total opposite of BB. She's shy, she's timid, she's like, you know, nervous all the fucking time. She doesn't want to be bothered. She wears like, you know, clothes that, you know, she doesn't really attract attention to herself. Everything BB isn't, okay? And BB cannot stand her from the instant because Peter's talking to her. So she's like, oh, you know what? I know. I'm going to befriend this girl, and then I'm going to lock her in my fucking basement. Like, excuse me, what the fuck, you know? And then she ends up being around Amy, and the more that she's around Amy, the more she becomes like infatuated with Amy. And it is very dark. It's very dark for it to be so cutesy and bubbly in the, you know, in the art. It is very dark. And when I was done, I was like, what the fuck did I just read, and where can I get the second book, because I need to fucking know. And there are just 2 books out right now. The third one comes out in August, and I'm hooked. So if you like dark things and like psychological thrillers and shit like that, you'll definitely love I Love Amy, okay? Then another one that I just picked up because of the front of the cover, and I'm like, fuck it, why not? You know, I was reading Dorohedoro, it kind of looked similar, and that is Tank Chair. I absolutely love it. So it is wild, it's crazy, just like Tank Chair and Chainsaw Man and Dun Dun Dun. So if you like things like that, you'll definitely love this one. So you meet this brother and sister, and the brother is an assassin, and he's like the top of his class, and his sister ends up getting kidnapped, and within that time he ends up getting hurt, and he ends up with a bullet in his head. He falls into a coma, and the only way that he can come up out of that coma is if there is ill intent towards him and his sister, like if somebody's trying to hurt him or his sister, so he can come out of it for a little while and take care of business, right? So his sister has this wild ass idea. If she could find somebody with the illest intent to, towards her and her brother, then she'll be able to cure him of his, the bullet that's stuck in his brain. So that's basically how it goes. And like he is stuck in this wheelchair because, he's in a coma and he's paralyzed after being struck with this bullet. But when he's awake, him and his chair and his thing chair do all kinds of crazy shit. I love all the characters. All the characters, like in Dora, there's kind of like not bad and good characters, evil people and then bad people, it's kind of like everybody. You can't help but to love all of them. And like the art is great. I can't wait. There's going to be an anime for it. So yeah, I was very shocked by this one. And I'm glad it's so good. So yeah. Number 7 is favorite new author, and that's going to go to Matt Denneman. I love his books. He's changed my life. They're always going to mean something to me. I get it. I usually don't read books by men, but I'm glad that I gave this one a chance. But I want to say shout out to Jeff Hayes, the audiobook narrator, because he blows my mind that he is only one person that's fucking doing this whole audio. He just makes it 10 times fucking better. And I'm gonna be dead ass honest. If it was not for the audiobooks, I wouldn't have stuck around, because I would have been so overwhelmed with like the rules and just everything. So shout outs to him. He is definitely the reason why, and just top tier narration, and you love it. I love it that you know exactly who the hell's talking. It's crazy that he remembers all these fucking characters and what they sound like. And yeah, I'm just over the top. I love audiobooks, and I love it when people like put their all into it, and Jeff Hayes puts his whole fucking heart into it. So fucking top tier narration. Okay, he done fucked it up for everybody. I know I've seen him in a couple of interviews where people say that, like, you done fucked it up for everybody. Like, that's where the bar is set at now. Yeah, so shout outs to Jeff Hayes, shout outs to Matt Denneman. Great job. Alright, number 8, newest fictional crush, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess who it is. It is my boy. The way I'm infatuated with this man, I love him so much. I think he is fucking amazing, for all the stuff that he has been put through, like even birth, like just coming into this world, and this world has not, that world has not treated him good at all, but he still finds, the beauty in things, and he still finds time to be soft, and like his humanity, like he has every reason to hate and to be evil and to go about things a different way, but like, yet he just stays grounded. Like, I'm absolutely in love with him. Like, look at him. Yum. And he appreciates a brown girl. Okay, he gets big points for that. All right. So, and I don't see me ever getting over him. Every time I see him, I'm like blushing. I'm like, Sheena, he is not fucking. Get the fuck over yourself. But yeah, a girl can dream, right? Question number 9, newest favorite characters. So I have 2. I have one that is actually a villain. So the first one is the one I absolutely love, okay? And it's a character from Dungeon Crawler Carl. So, everybody loves Donut Valid, okay? Because she's the shit. And everybody loves Carl because, he's daddy. I get it. But there is a NPC that I absolutely adore. She's so annoying at first, and she's so unhinged and chaotic, but I absolutely love her, and that is Samantha. She is a fucking hoot, okay? Every time she talks, every time she opens up her fucking mouth, or every time we pan back to her, she's always doing the opposite of what the fuck she was told to do, okay? So It's kind of hard to describe Samantha, so you know, just hear me out, all right? So Samantha is a deity, okay, a small deity, and she actually gets trapped. Like she's a minor deity, and she actually gets like permanently possessed and trapped in this body. Okay, not even a body; it's a decapitated latex sex doll head. I can't even say it without fucking giggling, okay? Like I'm a fucking kid, but yeah, she's a fucking mess. But even though she doesn't have a body, she be doing the fucking most, the most. And you would just have to just read it to understand. And she is so fucking delusional. Okay, the way she thinks she's in like a relationship with everybody. Everybody wants her. Everybody is so jealous of her, you know, and it's just the total opposite. They can't wait to like give her something to do so she'll go away. But I absolutely love her. I was telling my friend Kelly that I think the reason why I love her is because she reminds me so much of Harley Quinn. You know, like everybody thinks she's just a fucking ditz, but she brings a lot to the table, and that's Samantha too. You know, she could be. She seems like she has not one fucking brain cell, but she's actually very smart, and she has lost her way. She doesn't really remember anything about her life, but you know, she has such beautiful moments. Like she could just be so fucking sweet and so kind, but don't piss her off like the slightest inconvenience. She has like this motto that she will kill your fucking mom. And I'm just so tickled by it. And I find myself at work saying it, and like somebody pisses me off, I'm like, I'm gonna kill your mother. But yes, that's my girl, okay? I know she could be the fucking most, but watch how you speak about her, okay? And then my favorite villain has to go to Griffith from Berserk. I had heard somebody call him the beautiful monster, and that's the best way to describe Griffith, okay? He is so well put together. He is a great character, the way that he is written, you know, from the way that he looks, the way that he acts, the way that he talks, everything is just so calculated and so well written. I hated that he makes you love him and believe in him, and you know, you kind of listen to him, but you know, he does the most fucked up things, you know. And while everybody else is playing checkers, this motherfucker's playing chess at all times. At all times. So yeah, he's just very hard to look away from. Regardless if you like him or not, he's very hard to look away from. And I love that I know him and I fucking hate him, but I love, and he's worth that energy. I guess you could say he's worth hating and having all the energy poured into him, because a lot was poured into his character. So yeah, that one goes to Griffith, my boy Griffith. So yeah. Number 10, what are some books that made you happy? And I went with the Cocainian series. My homegirl Michelle put me onto this. Shout outs to Michelle. Definitely like just alien romance, you know, alien boyfriend romance. I think there's like 8 books in the series out right now. So you basically have like women were stolen from Earth and, you know, brought to other planets and stuff, because like these aliens are their race is like going extinct, and the only ones that they're able to have like babies with are human women. So they end up stealing them from Earth, and then they end up there. But within all the chaos, they end up finding their mates, and each book is about the different girls finding their mates. It kind of reminds me of Ice Planet Barbarians. So if you like that series, definitely check that one out. I found all the books on my Hoopla, so yeah, shout out to my Hoopla for having that. It's just a good time. Nothing too crazy, you know, like I love the world building in there. I love the little couples that are in there, but it's just a smutty good time. So then I picked the guy she was interested in. Wasn't a guy at all. Number 3. Ugh, I love that series so much. That series is so beautiful. So beautiful. Like, I just love watching these 2 girls fall for each other, regardless, like, you know, whether it's friends just getting closer to each other and like just becoming comfortable with each other. And the the one girl just realizing that she's worth it. She's worth like having friends and somebody having her back, and like all these things that she never thought she was going to have in her life. And then the other one is coming to terms with her feelings, and then just being a teenager, you know, everything feels so much bigger and so much like overwhelming and shit. But within that time that they're finding like this beautiful relationship, or whatever you want to call it, friendship, relationship, or whatever it is. And man, the ending just had me just fucking gagged. I was just like wanting more. But I'm just so happy to watch these babies like just find themselves and maybe find, you know, love in each other. They're so cute. Books that made you cry. Oh man. Okay, so to start off, of course, Berserk. Okay, there was some really fucked up moments that really had me in tears. If you know, you know. My God. And then Claymore, we actually, yeah, my book club talked about it and everything. So yeah, that part, didn't see it coming, still fucking hurting over it. Okay. And then there is a part in the Butcher's Masquerade, in the Dungeon Caller Carl series. There's this part where, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's this part in there where Donut has to confront somebody, and she just lays it all out. And I remember just sitting in the car, and I was bawling in front of my doctor's office. People were probably thinking, God, this girl got some badass news. No, I'm just fucking crying over this fucking make-believe cat talking and bearing out her fucking soul. So yeah, those ones really had me choked the fuck up. So alright, question number 12 is, what is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received? And I'm gonna go with this Absolute Batman number 18, and the cover is done by Ben Oliver of my girl. Look how beautiful that is. This was a store exclusive, and it was by Eastside Comics. I don't like buying store exclusives anymore, but when I saw this one, I had to have it. What do you guys think? Alright, final question. Number 13. What books do you still need to read by the end of this year? There are some series that I really want to make a priority before the end of the year. Doro Hidoro is one of them. The Absolute series, you know, get back to reading Wonder Woman and Batman at least. If I could fit the other ones in, cool. Tank Chair, definitely want to catch up. I know the anime is going to start sometime soon, so definitely want to be ready for that. Of course, my baby, Berserk. Alright, start Battle Royale. I know that the next deluxe edition comes out next month, so yeah. I definitely want to start Nana. That is a very dense one, so I know I'm going to probably wait till the very last minute. Like, I take vacation in December, so yeah, I'll do it then. And then, of course, Claymore. So, yeah. And whatever else is coming out. But yeah, those are definitely ones that I could think about at the top of my head that I really, really want to get done by the end of this year. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's hella late. I appreciate you anytime that you guys spend over here listening to my ass just yip yap about nothing and everything. But yeah, definitely, if you decide to do it, even if you do it next year or, you know, fucking 2 months from now, definitely tag me. I really want to see it. I was hoping a couple of my favorite YouTubers would do it, but, you know, like I said, there's still time. But yeah, maybe. I still got a couple of things going on, but yeah, thank you for showing up this time, and definitely let me know in the comments, like, what you loved, what you hated, like, what things that I should be looking out for in this next year to put on my TBR. So I'm going to try to hit 200 by the end of the year, and the way things are going, it looks like it's going to happen, but we'll see. So until next time, take care of yourself for me, and yeah, bye.